Welcome to the Spalding Show, hosted by Wes and Wyatt Spalding, the Spalding twins. On here, we talk about health and fitness, we talk about sports and mindset, and other topics that we're passionate about. And today, we're going to talk about consistency and the mindset that we both have around it. Maybe some athletes or other people we've learned that trait from. And I wanted this to be the topic for our first podcast because I think that you are very good at consistency. Even when you're not consistent, I feel like you're pretty consistent. And I just wanted to pick your brain a little bit, have other people hear what you do, what your mindset is around being consistent, because you have a lot of roadblocks that have come in your way and that continue to come your way. So I guess my first question for us and for you mainly is, when you think of the word consistency, how would you define that, or what do you think of?
So I would say that it's like it's boring. Actually, boring. Boring is a great word because it's doing the same thing every single day. But it helps you do the fundamentals every day. Like the workouts I do today, I switch it up every now and then because I've gotten a lot better and I'm older, but I still do the same stuff I did back when we were 14, 15, 16 years old because it's
Mm-hmm.
fundamentals. And it's shooting 200 to 500 shots. It's playing, tennis. I always ask dad, like, what should I do to get better at tennis? Get more consistent, get more consistent. And it's like, all right, well, no drills or anything. I guess I'll just find them myself. Thanks, dad. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, just doing the same thing, hitting off the wall. I have a ball machine now, but I still go hit off the wall like I did when I started playing tennis. And you increase like your knowledge of the game. So it's like, oh, if I do this drill, then this will help me with this. Or if I go work on this certain lift and lifting, then that will help for tennis or basketball or whatever. So you work on that. But like I have my YouTube channel, Life with Wyatt Spalding, and I post drills sometimes. But honestly, I stopped posting drills for a while because it's just me doing the same thing all the time. And honestly, like for if you want to be good, that's what you have to do. But people just see you playing in the games and how good you are. It's like, well, that's exciting. Do you want to come watch me in the gym do the same thing I did on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? No, because you're like, didn't you do this yesterday? It was like, yeah, but this is how I'm gonna get good.
So you're
And
saying you stopped posting drills because you're just doing the same drills all the time?
yeah, I was doing like the same thing, or like I would switch it up, but it'd still just be me shooting hoops, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And I'd probably get back into it more, but I also am just one like I don't know. I guess I'm just not like, oh, look at me. I started YouTube channel because I was bored and there was a pandemic. So, but
Yeah.
um, yeah, it's just like me doing the same thing all the time. And like football, I do these footwork drills that I found online for quarterbacks, and I do those. Like that's what I do in July and August. I just work on footwork drills. Sometimes I barely throw the ball, and then I just go and throw and throw. I'll throw like nobody, like no targets or anything, and I just envision like the routes or who's my wide receiver and what's gonna happen. And I think
So
that's what,
backing up,
yeah.
where was there like a time when we were kids, or I guess was there something maybe somebody said or somebody did that made you want to be consistent? Or like, I know just in general, people with disabilities, kids with disabilities, they like consistency because
Yeah.
sometimes you guys go through some pretty very traumatic stuff with medical issues and
It,
even in bullied or whatever, just not being like normal kids. So it's like consistency is nice because you know what's going to happen. It's going to be safe.
yeah.
So you think it was more of like something you learned from kind of like sports or life, or do you think maybe kind of with your background with having a disability and maybe not being uh, like everybody else, you like crave that consistency?
Well, I think when we were really young, and I don't know if she remembers this, but mom told me that a doctor told her that kids with disabilities at that time, they like to know what's happening the next day. Like you said,
Yeah.
we didn't know what was gonna happen. Like there were days like, oh, I'd call my job like I worked at Nebraska Sports, and it's kind of like, I don't know if I can cover your shift tomorrow because I'm sick and I have no idea how I'm gonna feel tomorrow. I'm gonna be going. I literally be living like day by day. It's like I'd either get sick and then be fine, or I'd get worse or whatever. And so
Mhm.
like yeah, like consistently, I was like, okay, today I'm gonna go play basketball. Tomorrow I'm gonna play tennis. Like this is what I'm gonna do. Or like
Mhm.
I don't know if you remember, but I I'd always ask mom like, what are we doing tomorrow? You know, because like I want to know what do we have to do tomorrow? What's gonna happen? Because like in
Yeah,
medical
now that
wise,
we
you
kind
don't
of
know
talking
what's
about
gonna
it,
yeah. Because
I
like
remember
medical
this one time you were gonna go play basketball, and I asked if you could. I think I had to go to work or something, or I had to be somewhere. I couldn't like wait. I was like, "Hey, can you stay here and wait for this package?" And then you're like, "Dude, I'm gonna go shoot hoops. Like, I already planned to practice at 1 p.m." Like, and then like threw you off. I was like, "Dude, I'm just asking you to wait 15 minutes." And then it was like a big deal. I mean, we were probably, I think we were
probably 16.
maybe we were younger, but we
Probably
were either late middle school or early high school.
yeah.
Yeah. And I just remember, and my mom trying to explain to me, like, you can't throw him off like that. Like, if you tell him he's going to do something the next day, like, it messes him up a little bit.
Yeah. And now it's kind of like, oh, whatever, this kind of sucks, but I'll deal with it because we're 28 now. But yeah, like when you're a teenager, like think about it, like self-confidence.
Mhm.
I was always sick. If it was high school, I mean, I went through like a lot of crap in high school with health wise. And like my two like not critical years were freshman and sophomore year, and I got pneumonia both years. And
Mhm.
so like yeah, I guess just like the knowing of this is what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna work out and do this. Or for some reason I always had the plan like I will not play tennis during basketball season. I didn't do that till like college, but it was just like I have to play basketball every day. I'm gonna play it for 6 days this week, then take Sunday off and then start over. Because then I would get
Yeah,
sick
that's
when
true. You will
that's
like tell me how many days you're gonna work out, and you stick with it.
yeah. And then uh I would get sick and then throw everything off. And you don't know what's gonna happen. Normally I was fine, but I'd be sick for like a week and a half. And
Mhm.
then but then I'd get say if I got pneumonia, that was always a big deal because that's all the worrying of am I gonna go to the hospital? I'm behind in school. Now it's like, oh, I can't work if I'm sick. What am I gonna do? You know,
Mhm.
pay like bills and stuff. So yeah, like I think just being sick all the time, like there was so much stress with it. I was like, all right, I need to know what's gonna happen that I can
Mhm.
control, and because I can't control some of the medical stuff that happens to me. So
Mhm.
I think that was like being consistent with that. And now it's like I'm consistent of like when I shouldn't work out because I'm tired of being sick all the time. Because I
Yeah.
literally like I probably ran myself into the ground and caused some of my illnesses and like sinus infection and stuff like that. But just because my body was tired. So like,
Mhm.
yeah, all right, I'm gonna go like really hard for 2, 3 days straight. Then I'm gonna take a day or two off, and then go really hard again.
What's
So
a
that
day off look like for you?
I just like don't work out. I just like I'm like busy with work, or I just kind of watch TV. If I really want to work out and I don't, I watch like film. So I follow like these YouTube channels and they show like quarterback play. Like there's this one called the QB School. I watch that, or like there's
Right.
some tennis YouTube channels I found, and they go through strategies for that. So I kind of watch that, or just watch a game or something.
So you
Um,
work more on like the mental aspect of your
yeah,
games. Nice.
yeah, and like now I can kind of get it because you taught me how to like read certain stuff in basketball and football. I kind of taught myself like actually during COVID how to like kind of read like routes or scan the field better.
Mhm.
And then tennis, like I mean, tennis is like you in basketball. You can just drop a play and all this stuff like that. And
Mhm.
tennis, dad taught me all this stuff that I was like, okay, if this happens, I can do this or that. And if they hit this way, I can go this way or that way. So I don't know. Like it just comes naturally to me. And
Do you
so
do like any mental imagery? Do you like picture yourself on the court or on the field ever when you're doing
oh
that
yeah, I do
stuff?
like
Or
all the time. Like half the time when I'm watching sports, I don't even listen to the sound. I just mute it. I have my headphones on and I like am like listening to sometimes podcasts, but like music and stuff. And so when I listen to music, I can like just see
Dude, I
myself.
remember this time we were like really little, like 5, and you were just like you're imagining something. We're just in the kid, like nothing's happening, like literally nothing is happening. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And you're like, oh, I'm imagining I'm in a hockey game right now. And I just started being like, dude, we've never played hockey before.
I don't remember that at all. Probably because I was too into it.
I just thought, this dude's weird. This dude's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I would do it all the time. Like when you're like preschool, I'd dress up like they had like all this stuff, these toys and costumes. So I dress up in
Mhm,
the football costume, and then I'd
mhm,
like go to the middle of the room and do like football. I'd like I was a football player and just run. Remember, I'd go out in the yard and
mhm.
I wouldn't just throw. I'd do QB drills, wide receiver drills, tackling drills, all by myself.
Then
And
you see like why you just set up a trash can. You're just like trying to take out this trash can.
yeah, it was fun. It was freaking fun, dude. And
Yeah,
so like, uh, yeah. But I mean, you think about it. I mean, it's probably good for my health because I had to
yeah.
learn to do certain movements. And when I started Special Olympics, I remember I was like, why do we only play like 2 to 4 games and we have all these practices? And Dad's like, you guys gotta learn the fundamentals and like get it down more than everyone. And so the more practices
Mhm,
you have, the better. And I was like, oh yeah, I guess I didn't really think about it. So it's like just like getting our bodies to do the motions over and over, and that way you can react better in the game. I mean, just like anyone else, but sometimes with a disability, it's a little tougher. Like you just have to react. React like a second or two slower. So,
yeah.
um,
I think the consistency of practicing sports. I mean, you lift the weights and you condition too, but I think the consistency of consistently being inconsistent with working out as you were sick. So, like, you'd always have to get back into shape. But how do you think getting back into shape helped you maybe with your CP or medical issues, or how do you think that benefited you health
so
wise?
health wise, I think it just probably made me more mentally tougher because
Hmm.
this is like I'm going through something like pretty big right now. I got to overcome that. And like as you get older, it's just like, well, this isn't as big a deal as like being really, really sick. And
Hmm.
so, I don't know. I just like had a plan too. Sometimes I would like go really hard the first day, which was a terrible idea. And then I would
Yeah.
get sick again. So, but
Remember, we'd have to like coach you. We like, dude, especially when it was summer. It was like it's 98 degrees outside. You can't run yourself in the ground because you're just gonna get sick again. And you come back home and you would be like, I think I ran myself into the ground.
I wouldn't get sick in the summertime. My blood sugar would drop to like 40. And then like
Oh
it'd be
yeah, that.
so hot. And then like, yeah, but like in my mind, it's like you gotta do like the crazy shit, like that no one's willing to do. Which I think
Mhm,
this goes back to like your question, like what made me want to do all that. Well, like I
mhm,
watched ESPN a lot, like around 2007, I started following the NBA. And so like it was like Tracy McGrady, Steve Nash, Kevin Garnett, and Kobe Bryant.
mhm.
And they were interviewing them, and like I was just like, I'm never gonna make the pros probably, like ever. But it doesn't mean I can't practice like the pros and go
Yeah.
really intense and just practice all the time and just like make big sacrifices, of not hanging out with people. And yeah, it's kind of funny. Like I hated Kobe Bryant as a player because I was a Celtics fan.
Mhm.
And like, I don't know, he's kind of a ball hog, but he was really good. So I was like, look back at it now and it's just like, I probably like related more to him, honestly. He just had this like killer mentality, didn't care
Yeah.
what people thought, and just like was I don't know. He just always worked out like insane hours, and that's what I would do.
Mhm.
So I mean, I was just like, I remember my favorite year, besides the year we won the conference tournament, but was our sophomore year when we were like really bad because it was like
Mhm.
at Fremont. And so I was like, oh, this is great. I can go to the game and I can go and play after. And
Yeah.
we were bad. So we always had the early game. So like 6, 7 o'clock at night where everybody went out after the game or did whatever. I'd like go to the basketball courts and work out, and there'd be nobody there, and be running like wind sprints and doing layups full court. And like that's just
Mhm.
like a sacrifice I made because I was saying like, oh, I want to be like Tracy McGrady, Kobe Bryant, today like LeBron James, whatever. Uh,
Mhm.
and I knew like, but I want to be like that in my league. Like I want to be like the best. And so what I didn't realize though is like in Special Olympics, seems like the older you get, the better. When you're like a teenager, it's kind
Mhm.
of hard because you're really behind in developing your body and you're
Yeah.
very uncoordinated. So
Yeah, you feel like kind of go off of that. You feel your consistency from 5 years ago is paying off now, or
yeah, I mean, I think it's like a lot better. Like I can throw the football harder than I could throw and farther. I basketball, I had some stats this last year that I didn't think I'd be able to reach in my basketball league. I like led us in scoring average like almost 30, I think. But my team also like we lost every game by 2 or 3 until the playoffs, and then we got third place somehow.
yeah.
But it was just like, before I couldn't really do that. Like I'd score like 2 to 4, 6 points.
Mhm.
But then like I don't know, I just like kind of learned how to be more consistent. You would give me drills all the time. Like now I work on like some of like really specific things, like snapping your wrist when you shoot, or making 100 swooshes, or work on a certain shot, like maybe a driving to a lane, but working on like floaters on the left side or something. I just
Yeah.
like know the game more and what I'm supposed to do, and I still have like a lot of room to improve. But uh, yeah, I think like just my details of what I'm supposed to be doing. Because before it was just like, all right, shoot the ball 1,000 times, and you'll get consistent or something. And then like tennis will just keep hitting off the wall. And now
I
with
think
tennis,
when you were real little, it was just, hey, just try to hit the rim when you
I
shoot the
know like
ball.
I couldn't. Well, my shot was like a chuck. I just threw it, and
Yeah.
like you taught me how to put arc on it, so I put arc on it, and then
So you kind of answered this without answering it. Sounds like you just loved practicing like an elite athlete. So it's like, oh, consistency was really good. And when it's in sports, it's kind of easy to be consistent because you love playing the sport. But where have you had to be consistent maybe in your everyday life dealing with like CP or whatever medical issues or something where like you don't want to be consistent in, but you know you have to be consistent in it?
oh like eating. I don't really care about eating at all, and so
So
like
explain why you don't care about eating real quick.
yeah, I was gonna get into it.
Okay.
So I like have an eating disorder, and I can't remember like the name, but it's like I had a G button. So a G button is like so this button that they put at the entry of your stomach, and then you would open it, and then that's how they would feed me because I weighed like 2 pounds when we were born, and
But it's like a
so
button going into your stomach, right?
yeah, and then remember like that machine I had.
Yeah,
It's
like a little backpack
yeah,
full of
it's just
milk.
like, but it was gross. Like just a
Yeah, honestly,
clunky machine. And it was just gross. Like at first it wasn't a backpack. I had to sit down and on the
oh
couch
yeah,
or
it was
a
like that
chair.
big machine thing.
Yeah. And so you just had to like stuck it in my stomach, and I just got my nutrition that way.
Dude,
And
that's kind of
like,
crazy to think about it. It was so like normal when we were growing up.
yeah, it was like
We'd be like
whatever.
playing and we'd be like, ah, damn it, Wyatt's gotta
Remember I
go.
had
He's gotta
like
go. We gotta go play over here now.
yeah, remember like I had those stupid gauze around it because it would get wet, and
Oh
then
yeah,
like
yeah.
and
It'd
like
be
it
like
would
leaking.
itch. And so like I always
I just
had to
remember
check
dogs would not leave you alone.
what?
Dogs would not leave you alone.
Yeah, because I smelled like freaking milk all the time, bro. I smelled like fucking milk. And
Yeah.
like it was just like, ugh. But I just remember that because like I'd go to like sporting events and do stuff, and my shirt would get leak. I would like start
Oh yeah.
leaking.
I
And
forgot about that.
yeah, and so that was really annoying. But then like when we turned 9, I got it out, which was good. But now it's just like, oh, I have to eat. Then like when we turned 12, I started having blood sugar problems. Then in 2018, now I have a swallowing issue where I can't really chew much food anymore. And I have a lot of problems.
Just to explain that, your
Yeah.
esophagus usually like twists and
Yeah.
pushes food down, but yours just like
So
goes
like
like that.
we all have muscles that help us like get food down. But
Yeah.
mine are all in and Mine are all dead, I guess. And so I depend all on gravity. So I have that. And then I have like a T fistula, and I got it when I was born because like my esophagus wasn't attached to my stomach. So they created like this wrap. And what they did was they put the wrap around my stomach, and they connected my esophagus to my stomach. And yeah, so I've had, apparently, I didn't know this till like 2018, but apparently that can fail. So like it can get worse over time. And so mine kind of has. And luckily I beat the odds. I mean, I go back to when we were 2, I broke it. I broke the wrap. So it was like all broken again because I coughed so hard. I remember they said I broke it, which I actually, looking back now that I'm okay, I'm kind of proud of. Like, wow, I broke it. I didn't. But I broke it when we were 2. They fixed it up. We're 28 now. Is if you go by the numbers, it's supposed to fail when we were 27. It didn't. And so that's good. I mean, I started having problems when we were like 25. And so that happened. And yeah, so I've been dealing with that. So like being consistent, like eating, I look for like a lot of casseroles. I mostly find casseroles because if someone doesn't like to eat, it's not like you just put all this stuff together. And someone who has to puree their food, I have to puree and blend my food up like a shake all the time. And
Yeah, it's like a whole process when you eat a meal.
yeah, it is. Especially when I make it because I'll cook it. I do all the ingredients for cooking. Plus, you got cleaning. Well, I have to add like, oh, now I have to puree the whole thing. That's like just I hate cooking. It's a whole day process. Unlike you,
Yeah.
you love it. So, but yeah, I mean, just being consistently with my eating. I'm not always great at it all the time. Sometimes mom tells me to like add certain things, and I'm just like, I just want to eat this and get it over with, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's like eating is literally like a chore for me. I eat probably like 6 times a day, 7, and I still burn. I don't gain any weight anymore. It seems like I'm only like 90 pounds. And honestly, when I look at myself in the mirror, like it's like if I really look at myself, holy shit, I can see like my ribs. I can
Yeah.
see, like stick my chest out. I can see my bones. It's like, damn. But I don't know, just like, yeah, I've dealt with it my whole life. Plus, I
Well,
have
all
like
the
scars all over my body, so it makes it look weirder.
yeah, yeah, your stomach's a little messed up with all the scars.
Yeah, it's super. My stomach is like a stomach virus. That's what it is. It's just without the fever.
Yeah,
So that's
that's
the way I
true.
explain it. So,
Good
but
way of putting it.
yeah, and I do these scopes all the time where they like, so what a scope is, they go in and they like reopen the entry to your stomach with like this balloon thing at the bottom. So it's just like like picture a balloon, and then they just, expand the balloon, like blow it up, and then able to swallow again. And I do that. I used to do it every year. Then I started doing it every 6 months, then every 3. Now it's like every 8 to 12 weeks. So I mean, and then like it sucks, but like what I've learned, like in sports, when you have a bad attitude, especially like playing tennis was hard to do this. Like you're gonna freaking lose. You're just gonna like not like be in the present moment or in the game. So then like what's gonna happen? You're gonna lose. So like for this, it's just like, I'll control what I can control. It's not my fault. My esophagus or stomach, went to crap.
Yeah.
It's like I can't
Gotta
control that. I can't
shoot.
control how my blood sugar is. That I don't eat too much, or I eat when I'm supposed to, so my blood sugar doesn't, do like go up too high, go too low. I guess going high can like it can cause effects in the long run. But yeah, so I have control of that and what I eat most of the time. And yeah, I mean I just roll with it, I guess. So
Yeah, I'd say you're consistently good about finding like bright sides. Like you said, kind of proud that I broke my whatever their esophagus thing. It's
yeah,
like, well, that's
that
not really a good thing, Wyatt, but
yeah,
okay.
it's not. It's like I like dark humor though. Like that's the thing. People don't understand. Like I've been through so much shit. that it's like sometimes like humor was the only way I'd get through it. But then
Yeah.
like I like kind of like dark humor. So I was just like, but it happened like years ago. Now if something happened to me like a couple months ago, like, I'm not gonna talk about it. Or I don't want to talk
Hmm.
about it. But if it's years ago, it's just like I'm still here. So
Yeah, I think a lot of people well, the gyms I coach at and stuff, or just my friends that I'm around, sometimes it's like, well, could be worse. And I just feel like that was always our like mindset is like, oh, this is something crappy's happening to you. And we're like, well, at least this isn't happening. We should come up with a worse scenario to make our scenario or your scenario, just a family scenario, not seem as bad.
yeah.
So
Or it's
yeah, it's
like
like there's always like a brighter side, and it's also okay. Like we were just like, man, this kind of sucks.
yeah,
Like
it
it's okay.
just sucks. It's okay to
Yeah,
say it sucks.
yeah,
Like, you don't have to be happy about it. Like, I mean, everyone gets, I don't say everybody gets screwed sometimes in sports and life. It just happens. And
yeah.
you just got to deal with it. Because, like they always say, life can go on without you. So you
Hmm.
can't just stand there and do nothing.
So besides eating, what else do you have to stay consistent with?
Oh,
That's not like sports related.
so let's see. Man, sometimes I try to stay consistent in reading. I'm not
Hmm.
very good at it. Well, sometimes. Sometimes I'm like pretty good at it. Because, like, I was really bad at reading. So, like, I was read at a fourth grade reading level. Yeah, in eighth grade. And so, like,
Okay.
I was pissed about that. So then that's when I started to read more. And now I like read books all the time, but sometimes I just like listening to books on tape. Like I was reading pretty good a couple weeks ago. I was also like on some steroids that I could never sleep. So I just
Yeah.
read in the middle of the night. And now it's just like I'm always watching TV and it's like I don't want to read. I just want to go to bed. Or like I should read in the afternoon or something. So I'd say like that because
How does that like help you in your day to
kind of
day?
makes my eyes stronger. Like it helps me with tracking. Cause
Your
like,
eyes?
yeah, cause like I probably will pronounce this wrong. I could get the right correction on a later episode if I pronounce it wrong, but I think it's
Yeah.
called this the stagnatism thing. And then so your eyeballs shake back and forth. And that's what mine
Yeah.
do. And
Actually, I
so
remember I used to always like tell our friends, watch this. And I was like, Wyatt, stay still. And then I was like, look at his eyes.
yeah, that was so funny.
You
But
had it
then
bad though. Like, I mean,
yeah,
if
like
you
it used to be really
start straight,
bad.
it's pretty
One
easy.
time I swear like you and dad were there. Like one time, I'd already say like, it wasn't like way better, but they improved a little bit. And it's
Mhm.
because I started reading. And just reading would help me like track things. I'd skip
Yeah.
over lines and stuff or read the same line again. So I think
Mhm.
like that helps. I mean, I still like my eyesight still sucks. Like it's like all the time when you say, "Hey, you see that over there?" I'm just like, look at no over there. Turn this way. I'm just like, yep, I see it. Yep. And Dad's like, do you really see it? No, I don't see it. I don't know. Stop asking me. It's like when we go golfing. It's like, where'd my ball go? Why are you asking me? I can't see it.
Yeah, I always just feel like an idiot after I ask him. Like, he has
Yeah,
no idea.
it's a stupid question.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so I think that helps. Like just like little, and you wouldn't think about that because like, oh, your eyes, like people with glasses all the time, but like I'm
Hmm.
considered legally, almost legally blind without my glasses. Like I can tell what everything is. It's just super blurry. And
Hmm.
so I used to like remember I used to like not wear my glasses all the time. I wouldn't wear them on the weekend. Like we were in grade
I don't really,
school. Yeah.
I
So
think
I
I do
like
remember it was like a
yeah.
pain to get you to wear them. And you had like these huge ass, like Harry Potter glasses when we were
Yeah,
little.
I did. Like and I was so small. So I looked like there's one like school picture. I look like a huge nerd because just
Yeah.
like got these big black square glasses on.
Hmm.
And yeah, I mean I just remember like I would wear them like if I played basketball or something, um, I just wouldn't wear them. And then like the eye doctor's like, you're making your eyes like way worse. You need to wear them like all the time. And I
Yeah.
think I remember going to a movie theater before that, and I was like kind of squinting. I didn't have my glasses on, and so I think it definitely got worse over time because now I like have to like I cannot like take them off and see anything. So But
Yeah.
I had like eye surgery when we were born because like there was like I don't know what the percentage was, but there could have been a good percentage. I would have gone like blind and
Hmm.
stuff. And I did hear from my eye doctor one time, like because I was on 100% oxygen, uh, it affects your eyes in the long run.
I
So
don't know. That's
yeah,
crazy.
so they took like a picture of my eye, and I want to say there was like some green stuff, or you could tell like he's like,
It's
yeah,
messed
that's
up.
not supposed to be like that. That's why your eyes are bad because it
Ah.
doesn't fill in or something, you know. And then
I just
like
remember when we were kids, you would go to a doctor appointment and you'd be like, well, they found something new that they have no answer to. And then we just like, oh, I fixed everything else. Like,
yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's just like, which is honestly the worst. Getting a diagnosis is not the worst. With them not knowing, because your mind can go like to the darkest stuff. Like
yeah.
I'm going to die. Like no one knows anything. Like remember when I had that stomach issue? Nobody knew anything for months. When I was sick all the
Oh,
time
yeah.
in fifth grade, it was
This
like,
when you got the new virus?
no, that was sophomore year of high
Oh,
school.
okay.
This is like fifth grade
Just,
when I was missed all those days and my stomach hurt all the time. It was like
yeah.
memory pain. So like, I mean, I had to like be consistent with like trying to like do meditation, which I thought was stupid at that time.
You know what's crazy? When we were fifth grade, I thought it was a bunch of bullshit. I thought it was like, this is
Yeah, and you're
stupid.
the one always doing like, dude, do meditation. But then in
Yeah,
fifth
now I'm
grade, it's
like,
like, this is
oh, the
stupid
gut and
now.
the brain are so connected and you gotta meditate. And now I'm like, man, I was such an asshole when we were like fifth, sixth grade because like he's faking it. This is so fake. And
And
then
then,
mom would
yeah.
just be like, stop saying that. He's not gonna do his stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
Weird.
And
I
like,
kind of back around a little bit, but yeah,
yeah,
I do remember that. That was nuts. You were like in some serious pain.
yeah. And then like I would get nervous about going to school and
Mhm.
everything. So I missed all those days. And then I remember like I don't know, I just like being sick, you gotta be consistent with trying to get healthy. Gotta take the pills, which I do most of the time. Your everyday
Yeah, yeah,
stuff. Sometimes I forget my everyday stuff,
yeah.
like
You gotta
not
do a
the
lot of
main
consistent
stuff, but
stuff.
like little things that could help. I like
Yeah.
just forget to take. So I
Mhm.
wouldn't say I'm like consistent in everything I do. It's the stuff, everyone can be consistent in the stuff they want to do. But the
Yeah.
stuff they don't want to do, like, oh, I'm consistent, kind of, sort of. It's like, well, you probably don't want to do it if you're not
Mhm.
really that consistent. Like, I wanted to be good at sports. I
Mhm.
wanted to work hard. Like this podcast, like podcasting, I want to be good at podcasting. So I try to be consistent in that. And like, there are some days I'm probably not as super consistent, and some days I am. And most days I am, but everyone has like the weak moments. Like I probably could have gone and practiced a couple times when I decided to stay home and watch TV or something. Or
Yeah.
like a lot of times I probably could have like not practiced, and then I just made my body worse. So I mean, we both did that. We both
Yeah.
still kind of do that too.
I'd say consistency is like hard for me. I like to jump around a lot.
Yeah.
Like I was just talking to Audrey and I was telling her I had like 6 tasks I was trying to get done yesterday. I was like, I started every single one of these tasks and I finished none of them because I kept jumping. And then I finally made myself finish like 2 of them and then finished like one this morning, another one this morning.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm very good at consistently being inconsistent. And then I like
Yeah.
the phrase I heard this one time, like you just the process is about starting again. So
Yeah.
like you're gonna go up, and you're gonna fall off, and you just gotta start again, and you just gotta start again before you fall too far. So you might have like a off day or 3 days or a week, but as long as you get back going,
Right.
and kind of like basketball, I think don't miss 3 shots in a row. So if you
Yeah.
miss 2 shots in a row, go get a layup or go get an easy open look.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're gonna miss working out for 2 days, try not to miss that third day. If you're gonna eat bad for 2 days, try not to miss that third day of like eating healthier. Um, Even vegetables. You can tell when you don't eat a vegetable for a couple of days, you just feel like crap.
Yeah.
And like, oh man, I need to get some better food into me today. And but then one of my strategies of staying consistent, like if I really want to do something, then I'm like, okay, if I tell Wyatt, he's gonna be super annoying about it. And every time I talk to him, he's gonna ask if I did this thing. And sometimes you like call me, and I'm like, I'm not answering them. Like, I'm sorry, or like I'm gonna pretend like I was busy.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, like we would have that competition of like who worked out the hardest, and
Hmm.
it's like helped us be consistent like a
Yeah.
lot. I mean, like, would you work out today, even though you had to work? Yeah, I got up at like 6 and did my workout before work, so I got done at 9 or whatever, and or like you come home from work and you want to like lay down and just watch TV, and you're just like, well, I gotta go work out because he's gonna like call me out at the end of the day. And so
Yeah.
like, or like you would wait, like you would always do it at nighttime sometimes. Like you'd like come home, take a nap, and then go like in our half court basketball court we had in the backyard. You'd like shoot at like 9 o'clock at night or something. I
Dude,
remember.
I think that's how I work now too. Sometimes I will procrastinate hard, but then when I finally get to doing the work, I just like crush it.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like I need
definitely.
that. I need to somehow put pressure on myself at certain times of the day. So if I give
Like,
myself like time limits now for work, like I gotta get this done before noon or before 10. Otherwise, it's like I'll put off. And sometimes I work better at the end of the day, and sometimes I work really good like at 5 or 6 a.m. when nobody's really up yet. So
yeah, for
I gotta
sure.
find like a better flow right now with all my stuff.
You just have like a lot of good ideas, but you wouldn't stick with one. That's the
I know.
thing. Is this like you would tell me like these ideas you had in college? I was just like, you gotta pick something.
Yeah.
But I was just like, but then too, like, there's good and bad to that. And then I guess I would like, I had no problem bailing on stuff that people thought was I should work hard at or it's a good idea or whatever. And
Mhm.
I would just be like, I don't care. If I'm not thinking about it, it's not if it's not the number one thing that comes to my mind, I probably don't care like
Mhm.
enough to be consistent in it. And so
Yeah.
uh I like golf. Like dad tried to get me into golf, which makes sense. You got a physical disability, doesn't involve running. Well, I didn't practice enough on my own. So I stopped taking the lessons. Then he got me into tennis, and I was like, oh, this is fun. And I just would go to the Y and play tennis more. So
Mhm.
you saw like what your priorities are. And some people be like, well, why'd you bail on this? Or shouldn't let this person know. I was like, look, if it's not something you're willing to sacrifice for or put in the time and it doesn't feel like you're putting in work every day, then you
Mhm.
then you probably don't care about it enough if you don't really love doing it. Like I love to go on and still love going to work out and like running sprints and playing tennis at like 1 in the afternoon when it's 95 degrees and there's a heat warning.
So
And
with that, let's
what?
say somebody who hates working out, what would you recommend them starting to do to love working out?
If you really don't like, I mean, if you like a certain sport, I'd say do that. Like go shoot hoops by yourself, or if you I don't know if you prefer lifting or running or over one or the other, just do it for like 20 minutes. Do it for
Mhm.
20 minutes, see how it feels. Do it 20 minutes the next day or 2 days later. Um, I guess even walking, you can do that. Although I'm a person like I know walking is exercise, but I'm like if I'm walking, I don't feel like I'm working out. But that's just me. But yeah, like just start small, like go run for 20, 15 minutes and don't overdo it on the first day and then wait a day or two, go run again. And if you like it, keep doing it. If you don't like it, find something else. Go play recreational sports. Sign up for, I don't know, you can sign up for like kickball teams now. Who doesn't like kickball? Everyone played kickball in like elementary school. If you don't like kickball, like what elementary school did you go to? Come on, people.
Yeah, come on.
I, I mean, there's
Yeah, I
like
agree with you. It's like find something you enjoy to do.
and look at all the sports. Pickleball's big. Ultimate frisbee is a thing in some states.
Disc
And
golf.
yeah, disc golf, that doesn't involve any running. You can do that. And like there's so many
Like
like
5 miles after it.
yeah. So there's a bunch of stuff you could do. And if it's just walking because you like to be outside, then do that too. Better than doing nothing.
Mhm.
Like and if I mean if you're out of shape or you just then start with walking and then work it up. So, 'cause everyone likes
Yeah,
something. And not a lot of people are like us. We're like I think the other day I played tennis for 2.5 hours. It's not like you have to go that long. Literally, like, I don't know. What's the average of a person working out? Like 45 minutes, you think?
I don't know. I'd look that stat up. Good stat. I would say 30.
Yeah, 30 to 45. And there are
Could even
like a
be.
lot of classes like that. Oh, here's something. If you don't like to work out, don't do it by yourself then. Just
Yeah.
find a random class and
Hmm.
do it. Go to it's called a Zoom class. What's it called? One on the bike. Like you're on a bike and
Peloton?
yeah, like a Peloton bike, but there's a big class. Whatever that's
Like a
called.
bar kind of?
Yeah, you could do that. Or I don't know, or weightlifting if you want to look big. Some people just like to lift weights because they like to look big. So
Yeah, but you can also, so I'm going to debunk this in case somebody's wondering about this. To look tone, to firm up, or to tone up, that's just lifting weights.
yeah,
To look big, it's more of eating more.
okay,
Um, but yeah, I totally agree with you. And even just to make it clear, because you said like us, I'm definitely not working out for 1 to 2 hours at the moment.
come on, Wes.
Um, I know. I've been doing like maybe 30. My average is probably like 30 minutes.
Holy
I just do
crap,
like,
you've turned into an average person.
I know.
Good. Where's your
But
insaneness? Yeah,
what?
where's your insaneness? Our teenage selves will be very disappointed in us right now. I'm taking a day off. You only work out for 30 minutes.
I
Like
know.
a 16-year-old Weston and Wyatt be like, you guys suck. Like, yeah, but we're not sick all the time. Like, so?
I'll tell you this though, working for Bull Barbecue and working in the kitchen, I've never like I can't hit that strain. So the strain on my whoop, I would hit higher strains working in there than I would when I was coaching CrossFit a lot and working out maybe 2 or 3 times a day. Like I was hitting higher strains in the kitchen for I probably averaged like 4 to 6 hours in
Yeah.
there. And yeah, so a lot of times this past year, and with getting married and me and Audrey, we're just doing more social things. We just
Yeah.
like do some lifting together in the morning, or like before this podcast, I did like 20 kettlebell swings. So I would just do like mini movements throughout the day to like wake up and just to like um, keep the muscle that I have. And I don't think I've really lost muscle.
Yeah.
Uh, and then there were some weeks I hit a little harder, but definitely been playing more basketball. Like
That's
you
good.
left that ball here when you stayed here last, and you're like, I'm just gonna leave this here because I think you might use it. And I was like, I'm never gonna use that. Like there's no way. But dude, that's probably what I do mostly for my breaks is I just walk across the street to that little hoop and I
I knew
shoot for
you'd
like,
do that. Like, I just knew, like, he's going to want to play. He doesn't have a ball. He's not going to go out and buy a ball. I'll go buy a ball. And so I just left it because, like, he'll shoot hoops again. But,
yeah.
because it's easy. I mean, you can go by yourself and, like, it's not like you have to go super hard either. You literally,
Hmm.
that's what I would do when I would get sick. I would just, like, literally stand there and shoot baskets and barely move.
Yeah.
Like, when I would come back from being sick. So, but yeah, I mean, I think we're like smarter now because we used to just run our bodies into the ground.
Yeah,
Which,
kind of do that when you're younger. You're just gonna
yeah,
adapt
it's
so fast.
easy. Like you're teenager and you're in your early 20s. It's like, man, I could go all day, which I like couldn't.
Up to like 1 or 12, and you wake up and
No, that I'd still do that, dude. Like,
work out. Yeah, you
yeah,
can
like
still.
I could still do that. Like I go to bed at like 12, get up at like 6:30,
We gotta
probably.
talk about your sleep, man.
Yeah, my sleep is pretty bad, but yeah, I don't know. We can do another
Maybe
episode on
that's
that
something to
later.
be more consistent in.
What?
Maybe that's something you need to be more consistent in.
Oh yeah, that's like probably top of the list. I'm just
Yeah.
like, I should fall asleep, but do I want to? But then I don't know. I sleep weird places. I like fall asleep in my recliner for like maybe 30 minutes, then go to bed, and then I'll wake up at like 6 or 5:30 actually sometimes, and be like, should I get up? And eventually I fall back to sleep. It's only it takes like 30 minutes. So
Okay, to wrap it up, what's one thing I don't want to say that you need to be consistent in, but what's one thing that you're willing to work on being more consistent in? Because I feel like it's still not your sleep. It's college basketball season. I know you staying up late.
Yeah, why would I? Let's be realistic. I can't do that now. But I go to bed early sometimes. I go to bed at 11. Um, Probably reading. Cause I read like a lot of books at once sometimes. Cause I was like, it would take me forever to read one book,
Yeah.
and then like I wanted to read this other book, but it would take me like 3 months or 2 months to read one book. So I'm just not a fast reader, so I read like multiple. I read like 3 books at a time. So like I can do it. It's just like I need to like at least read like once a day or twice a day, pretty good too. So
Yeah.
I read better when I'm like on vacation and not around like my stuff. So
Yeah.
maybe I
You
should
got to
just,
have less.
yeah. It's like maybe I should just go somewhere.
Mhm.
So like do a coffee house or something. But probably definitely reading. I read
Nice. I
more.
would say one thing I need to get consistent in is mobility.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I need to get back to some hip and ankle mobility. I think I'm trying to get more into playing some rec leagues. I haven't played basketball in forever, and I got a little taste of it. So
Yeah.
uh, I think I could. I think that's what's really locking up my athleticism that I didn't even have as a younger kid because I was so tight. So I think I'm going to put together hip mobility, and I just need to get better about doing something around in the morning because a lot of times I like to read in the morning. So I'll give you my reading consistency, and you give me your workout consistency, and we'll be good. We'll be
Yeah.
solid.
That's why
Yeah,
there's two of us. We are positive on one end and the other twin's negative on the other one. So we just have to
dude.
stick
Yeah,
to it. I
it's
mean
like
that
weird.
yeah,
It's weird
it is.
how like exact it is.
Yeah, it is. And it's like I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's freaky sometimes. It's like or like stuff we like to do. Like you like
Mhm.
cooking. It's like one of the worst things I think in the world. I hate cooking. You love lifting weights. If I never played sports, I would never lift weights. So
Yeah, I know because you like to run more probably.
yeah, I like to run more. You don't. Yeah, it's weird. But I guess that's why we're twins. So
Bounce each other out.
pretty much.
All right, well, that wraps up the first episode of the Spalding Show. If you guys can share this with somebody, leave a comment, tell us what you want to hear us talk about next. We appreciate that, and we'll see you next time.
See you.